What is going on, everyone? Darklight Lou here for Wickedthumbz, and today we are bringing you a preview for the upcoming racing MMORPG from Ubisoft, The Crew. The game has a pretty extensive map that will take you across the United States, and it is pretty large, although the game doesn't currently feel that way. Maybe that's because it's the beta, but I personally think Ubisoft thought of it and cut down on the travel times from getting from point A to point B. The beta in the game will start off in Detroit, and after a few beginner missions, we were able to upgrade our vehicle to the Ford Mustang, which is one of my favorite cars, and with it, we hit the road. Now, right away, before you even get to the point where we are here in the video, the game didn't feel like an MMO, or an RPG, or even a racing game for that matter. It felt like it was an extension of Ubisoft's last hit, Watch Dogs. No, now don't get me wrong, Watch Dogs was a great game, but the driving here felt added on. It didn't feel like it was going to pull away from the chains of Watch Dogs, and it didn't feel like an actual racing game or the game Ubisoft promised us. The camera view for the car is adjustable, which is good, and it can be tailored to your playstyle. Even the behind the wheel inside car view is available, which is great and gives you the feeling of, well, being behind the wheel. In the bottom right corner, the mini map can be expanded to help you get a better view of your surrounding area, which will help you navigate through the busy streets, and it can be used to help you prepare for any upcoming sharp turns. Now, we tried to explore the city a bit, but as soon as we got a few blocks away, the in-game help lady Zoe got really annoying. Like really annoying. She just kept telling me what to do and where to go. So after a few minutes of getting yelled at by her, I decided to go to the mission that was at the end of the GPS bar that tells you where to go. Now, here we have Corbin and Shiv. Shiv kills your brother, and Corbin is a bad federal agent who helped Shiv frame you for the murder. So these are the bad guys for the game. In order to take them down and avenge your brother, you have to get into the underground racing scene and gain street cred in order to get into a gang. That will in turn take them both down, somehow. The start points for missions are all throughout the city, and after you arrive at the mission start marker, they give you options on how you want to play, either solo with your crew or with other online gamers. I picked solo just to ensure a quick and fair race. You'll get a little cutscene of all the vehicles lining up the race, some car graphics, and away you go. The style in which the mission starts, gameplay, and story layout all feel like a mix of Midnight Club and the Fast and Furious movies. You do some driving to get your street cred and advance in the underground world, while secretly being an undercover temporary agent for the federal government. But here in this mission is where the driving game aspect finally kicked off, and it started to feel like its own racing game and not an expansion of Watch Dogs. With the upgraded car, the driving was a bit more fluid and not as stiff as the previous cars beforehand. So I'm guessing and hoping that the better cars and upgrades you get, the better the driving will be. After I took first place, it was kind of hard for me to lose the lead. Not saying it's impossible, but I did have a commanding lead and I didn't lose it, nor was it compromised. After you win a race or finish a side mission, the RPG aspect finally kicks in. You're given upgrades for your vehicle that are used to make the car better. These upgrades will make it easier for you to complete missions that will get you more street cred to advance with the game and getting in with street gangs. We also did another mission that consisted of delivering a car from one point to another. I think the game will be riddled with these mission types, but I didn't mind this one because I was able to drive one of my other favorite cars, the Aston Martin Vantage S. Now, this is where and when the detail and driving of this game really started to come into its own with this game. Now, with this mission, you had to use the GPS line that's above the car, and you had to use that to take the car to a different destination in an allotted amount of time without getting the car too roughed up or too damaged. Now, minimal traffic in the city made it pretty easy to do, but the time limit did have me cutting it pretty close while trying to drive safe. I should say. Dashing across the city in the Vantage was pretty epic, and I finally started to enjoy the game. And missions like these advance your character's cred with gang members, and it also helps you to increase the level of your actual character. Now, side missions are also riddled throughout the city and can be used to gain upgrade parts. And if you don't do too well, then you don't have to worry. You can immediately start right over for a better score, or you can even try for better upgrade parts. Now, here we have the drive in between the gates at high speed. There was also a speed side mission as well as a weaving one as well. In my second attempt at this one to go through the gates, I nailed the gate that I missed beforehand, and I also nailed the oncoming driver, which alerted the local police. Now that gave me an idea for something else to find out in this game. Police presence. How are the police in this game? We saw a few cops during the first big race to get introduced into the gang, but we didn't really get chased or even heckled by them in any way, so I decided to antagonize them a bit to see what the deal was. But honestly, it took quite a lot of carnage and destruction to get the cops to appear. And I do mean a lot. Hitting every car I saw, driving on sidewalks, scaring pedestrians, all were a part of my rampage to see the police presence in the game, if the police presence in the game was strong. And again, after a lot of destruction and pretty much destroying this entire part of the city, the police finally appeared. And they showed up, and when they showed up, it pretty much showed why it was so hard to summon them. They did a perfect pit maneuver. And with the PS4, you can see here that the controller flashes like the police sirens, which was pretty cool. But the cops were relentless. They arrested me, and that was pretty much it for the beta. I'd like to thank you guys for all watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and find us around the net for news on upcoming videos, giveaways, and events that we attend. So until next time, happy gaming.